morning, good afternoon, and good evening to any listeners out there who are joining us for a second episode of the week 24. And we are, what is this today? June 16th, which means we are right
in the FIFA.
We are right proper in FIFA. So Miguel, I'll let you take it away.
You ready to go to Sweet 16 party?
Yeah.
Not the Sweet 16 all y'all are thinking about. 16 games have been played so far. Now, I am not talking about the games that are happening this present day due to the fact that 2 of them will not be done, and I just don't like speaking about half the games while half the games aren't on. But to open it up in Mexico City, Mexico versus South Africa. How do you feel after that one?
That was rigged. And nobody can convince me otherwise.
Mexico had 1 yellow and 1 red. Red was taken, though, at the 90th plus 2 minute, so it doesn't really change anything. No. But South Africa did have 2 yellows and 2 reds. The reds were at the 50th and the 84th minute by Zwane and Sithole.
Rigged. Because you know where the game was played? Mexico City. Rigged.
As you guys can tell, Chris is not happy about this. Mexico had 16 shots, 5 on target, while South Africa had 3 shots, 2 on target. Possession was 58-42 for Mexico. Mexico was just the favorites to win in this one already, and I'm sorry, Chris, but with 2 shots on target, bud.
Okay, maybe not rigged, but still, we're after paid off. I believe it.
Korea versus Czechia was 2-1 for Korea. A lot of Korea fans were happy. Yep, actually, surprisingly, it was kind of a 50-50 on who would win this game.
Oh, fascinating.
3 goals were scored in 21 minutes, and the score is 2-1. I was really happy when I put that one together. So, Czechia scored at the 59th minute, Korea scored at the 67th and the 80th minute. Korea dominated the right side of the field. Like, honestly, I have seen domination, but like they ran 55% of their attack plays on the right field.
Yeah.
Czechia was kind of even all across the field. They kind of used the whole field for their attacks. They swapped over, flipped the field, used the middle when they were exposed. But honestly, first action was in the second half. There wasn't really much in the first half. So Czechia goalkeeper made some crucial saves in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. And I mean crucial. 3 shots that could have been goals and just absolutely shut the door. Czechia's goal was
lock and key.
Oh yeah. Czechia's goal was a header off of a throw-in directly in the goalie. Like they threw it in right in the box, header at the perfect time, top shelf.
They threw it in.
Yeah, threw it in on the sideline.
Oh, so it wasn't a... Oh, goodness. That's a hell of a throw.
Oh, yeah. I've done that once in my life, and I'll never do it again.
And then not with how stiff your shoulders are.
Anyways, Korea's first goal, Korean player had outplayed Czechian defender and goal for an easy lob in the... When I mean easy, like right over the goalie. Like there's nothing to do.
Solid chip.
And then in the 80 minutes, Korea scores second goal. Yeah, even though Czechian goalie got a touch on it, it just slipped right through. So he got a touch, bounced on the floor, right in. In the 82nd minute, Korean goalie makes a game-saving save, as well as he saved the show as well. Both goalies just played remarkable, but Korea ended up beating the Czechian goalie just one more time. Now, June 12th. Canada versus Bosnia. How did we not win like 4-1? We hit like 3 posts. Why?
Okay, anyway, Luigi.
I didn't even think of that. I will give it to Bosnia, though. Their goal that they scored was an absolute beauty. Like, corner, right into the box, header, nothing you can do. In the 53rd minute, Canada had the opportunity to tie it, but dude, I've never heard such a loud crossbar, and I play Rocket League with you. It hit the crossbar and stood out.
Yeah.
After a lot of people questioning why Laren didn't start in the starting 11, He subbed in the 76th minute and then tied it up in the 78th minute. So if I'm Canada's coach right here,
I mean, that's an efficient substitution.
Yeah.
Comes in, scores.
Bosnian defender stops a prime chance for Canada in stoppage time as well. First World Cup point for Canada. Canada seems to really like playing on the outside of the fields. Now, what I mean by that is they kind of split the field up in 3 sections, right? So you got left, middle, right. They had 10% of their plays run through the middle. They had 44 on the left and 46 on the right. So they really like to use the outside of the field as much as they can to kind of stretch the team out.
Stretch them, aim for those crosses, kind of get it through.
Exactly. And then Bosnia did commit quite a lot of fouls. They committed 20.
Jeez.
The average is like 11.
How did we only draw this?
Yeah. Shots on target was 4-3 for Canada. So it was a good game. Canada did have a lot of chances. It's just at the end of the day, it's 1-1, and we go up to the next one, and we got lucky that the next match up in our group ended up in a draw, but we'll get to that later on.
Foreshadowing there.
Yeah. USA won 4-1 against Paraguay. I'm sorry, USA fans. I don't really do. But Paraguay got 5 yellows, so...
You don't really do what? USA statistics?
Yeah.
You get your 4-1 win. Now leave us alone.
Yeah. Saturday, June 13th, Qatar versus Switzerland. Switzerland should have won this. And why I'm telling you this is because Qatar ties it in the 90th plus 4th minute and makes Pool B all tied up at draw.
All 4 teams have 1 goal for, 1 goal against, and 1 point. It's the group of friendship.
Yeah. Now, Brazil versus Morocco. A lot of people thought that Brazil would kind of whack over Morocco.
Whack them.
And Morocco went, hey, listen here, buddy. So both goals were scored in the second half.
So you went from Luigi to Porky Pig.
Oh man, here we go. It was an even battle, surprisingly, due to who was playing. But let me tell you, Vinny Jr.'s goal was beautiful. When I mean tight angle, dude. I mean almost like parallel to the net.
Oh, one of those like end line goals.
5 feet from the line.
Yeah.
Shot above the net, above the goalie, and like the goalie barely missed it. You watch the replay, and it's like.
Yeah, for those of you at home, Miggy just showed his hand to me and kind of gestured that it just missed his fingertips.
Yeah.
Because the is really not that descriptive.
Oh, it's a goal. The ball goes into the net. Anyways, and then Scotland beats Haiti, which personally for me, I thought was how it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Scotland has had really good teams in the past, and they look strong in their friendlies. Now, here's the one that I told you before we were recording, and you were like, huh? Australia beating Turkey 2-0. Now, I used to live with a exchange student from Turkey, and all he could talk about was football.
Like soccer.
Yeah, but for him, it's football.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, we're like one of the best. So, like, watching this kind of makes me laugh. Because, like, from what I can see is Australia really doesn't have, like, as...
Australia's not a strong soccer country.
Exactly.
Not typically.
So the fact that they got beat by a team that's not really known to have soccer, but, like, this exchange student I used to hang out with was like, oh, Turkey's so good. Turkey. I might just have to take him out for Turkey. So, Sunday, June 14th. How did Curacao lose 7-1 against Germany?
The same way that Brazil lost 7-1 to Germany.
Yeah. Germany had 6 different goal scorers. So it was a team effort. Mm-hmm. Game was tied at one point. But shots were 26-8 for Germany, which was 12 on target to 2.
The numbers make sense as to why the score was what it was.
Yeah, but Curacao, man. Imagine if they won the FIFA World Cup.
Here's the issue, is that's really hard to imagine.
Be pretty funny.
If that happened, we'd need at least 7 miracles.
Yeah.
I think. And by 7 miracles, I mean the 3 for the group stages and the 4 through the
Yeah.
elimination stages.
So the Netherlands and Japan are tied at 2. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. Ivory Coast actually wins this one.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because this game I have issue with, and it's not because of the teams
Which one?
or the score. The Ivory Coast Ecuador game.
Okay.
Because I watched the ending of this game.
Okay.
And I am going to bring back up from the basement my issue with stoppage time.
Oh boy. Let me guess. They scored in stoppage time.
No, they didn't even score in stoppage time.
Okay.
It's not even that. At the end of the game, the stoppage time was for plus 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I have no issue with, especially after discussing it with you and Jay. It's like, okay, this is how they keep track of it. This is why they do it. Whatever.
Once it made sense, you started having issues.
Like once I heard how they actually go about it, then it's like, okay, fine, whatever, do it your way. Here's my issue with this game. This game didn't stop until almost 8 minutes after the 90th minute.
Yeah, but it depends on the possession.
Here's the issue I have with that. Possession changed 2 times.
Between the 6 minute and the...
Yes.
Oh.
It wasn't... If it was just say, like, we've hit the 6 minute mark, and this team has, like, momentum and pressure and yada, 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 sure, whatever. No, the ball switched possession, went to both sides of the field at least once. And this game still didn't end until the 7.5 minute. And why I have extra issue with this is because Ecuador got a corner out of it at the end, which they shouldn't have gotten because the game should have ended. Now, mind you, obviously they didn't score off it, but they kicked it in, and Ivory Coast managed to get it away, and then finally the ref blew the game to its end. So that's the issue I have with right now, is that I just witnessed them not just have stoppage time, but go way over stoppage time in a scenario where there's no reason they shouldn't have. But enough about me complaining about that, because otherwise I will be here for the next 3 hours complaining about just that game. And we got a couple more FIFA games that did actually take place.
Yeah. So Sweden and
Tunisia.
Sorry, my stutter and dyslexia all took place in the same time. I look like a jackrabbit. Anyways, so Sweden opens it up and closes the scoring in this game. They scored in the 7th minute and the 90th plus 7th minute.
And I don't... Okay, sure. You know what? Insurance goal.
Yep. So Sweden had 4 goal scorers. Ari was the one who opened and closed the scoring. And yeah, they just absolutely dominated. Like, Sweden was just not stoppable.
Not much more you can say about it.
I will talk. So Monday was 4 games, but there's one game I want to keep last. Just so me and you can have a what the hell moment.
Mm-hmm.
So Belgium and Egypt played against each other. It was a pretty even battle. Like, it was almost 50 down the stat sheets. There's a couple of fouls, a couple of corners that look promising, a couple of free kicks that look promising. By the end of the day, it was 1-1 when it shouldn't have been.
And why shouldn't have been 1-1? Both teams scored a goal.
Egypt scored twice.
Okay, so Egypt scored a goal and an own goal.
Yes.
I love that for them. I do love friendly fire.
So Egypt was like, I don't want to win.
You win, please. No. It's like those friends get into a game. It's like, is friendly fire on?
Oh no. Yeah, it's on.
And they draw instead of winning.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia versus Uruguay. Uruguay dominated, but the scoreboard just doesn't show it. Like, they had 61% of the possession. They had 27 shots, while Saudi Arabia had 7 shots. They had a total of 56 total attacks to Saudi Arabia's 21. It's insane. And Uruguay only played 4% down the middle of the field.
So they had side pressure, possession, chances, and
absolutely. And they
couldn't get past.
Saudi Arabia's goalie was like, no.
I will carry this team on my back.
Yeah. Now, this is a match that you looked at me and said, this should be pretty straightforward.
That's certainly what I thought.
I said Iran versus New Zealand. And who do you say should have won?
Then New Zealand. You should just win this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. 2-2. Now, Iran's Ramin Raziam had a goal and an assist, so he had a pretty good game. Now, New Zealand, and I'm going to say it how I wrote it in my notes, just because it's hilarious. New Zealand, both goals were just from wood.
Can you tell English isn't his first language, ladies and gentlemen?
So, New Zealand's forward just scored twice from both goals, assists from their midfielder, Wood. So
what a name, Just.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name? Just. No, I mean like your surname, Just. No, like your legal government name, Just.
Yeah. So, but when I wrote this down, I was like, "Oh, I'll just write this down." And I read it, and I was like, "Chris, you want to read that?"
See, I was wondering why the J was capitalized because I thought you just wrote both New Zealand's goals were just from Wood, like they were just from the player named Wood. But okay, I didn't realize that they had a player named Just.
Yeah, they had a player named Just, which is honestly kind of crazy because, like, if you think about it, like, you're trying to explain, like, oh yeah, Just will do it. Just. So now the FIFA still has many games.
That's an understatement.
Many games and many of probably upsets. So,
but before we get to that, we do have one more game that happened this past week or so.
Yeah, we do, and I did laugh a little when
it's hard to look at. It genuinely is kind of hard to look at.
When you think of a team like Spain and the history,
the dominance, the talent,
and now you get a team like Cape Verde.
Up and coming, but not a lot of history and not a lot of success. So you'd think Spain, go out, win like 3-0 or 3-0, like 3-1, something like that.
It was not the case. Spain had 26 shots to Cape Verde 6. Spain was expected to score over 2 goals. Possession was 66% for Spain. Spain dominated Cape Verde, and the goalie just saved after save after save after save. He became the oldest goalie in FIFA history with a clean sheet at 40.
You're never too old to play in the World Cup.
Vazina is in the books for history now, forever. And he comes from a little island that you can't even see on the map.
I mean, the fact that they drew 0-0 Spain. Something very funny that I saw earlier today? This Vezina guy, he now, all of a sudden, has more Instagram followers than Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. It's crazy.
This guy became an international celebrity.
Just for saving balls.
Yeah. He's 40. He has done his life's work. He could probably live off of the sponsorships that are just about to come his way.
Oh, probably. Now, games that have happened will happen today. France will play Senegal. Iraq will play Norway. Argentina will play Algeria. And Austria will play the little cousin Jordan.
Poor Jordan.
Yeah. On Wednesday, so tomorrow, Portugal will play Congo. England will play Croatia. That's going to be a good one. Ghana will play Panama. Uzbekistan will play Colombia. On Thursday, Czechia will play South Africa. Switzerland will play Bosnia. Canada will play Qatar. And Mexico will play Korea. I kind of feel bad for the Koreans. I hope they show up just as much as they did against Czechia. Now, if Australia beat Turkey, I sure as hell hope they beat the U.S.
I want them to. I don't know if I have it in my soul to even, bias-wise expect them to.
Yeah. Scotland will play Morocco. Brazil against Haiti. Ouch.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
And Turkey versus Paraguay. That'll probably be a revenge match for Turkey. On Saturday, Netherlands will be playing against Sweden, Germany against Ivory Coast, Ecuador versus Curacao, Tunisia versus Japan. And then on Sunday, we go back to the big guys here. We got a lot of big guys playing. We got Spain playing Saudi Arabia, Belgium playing Iran, Uruguay playing Capo Verde, New Zealand playing Egypt. That could be a good one.
That'll be fun.
And then on the Monday, June 22nd, we have Argentina versus Austria, France versus Iraq, Norway versus Senegal, and Jordan versus Algeria. And those are the upcoming 28 games.
Jeez, that's a lot. There are two things that I personally am looking forward to this week. I still think Ghana is the dark horse of this tournament. So I'm really interested to see how their game this week goes.
Like their first match?
Their first match, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also really interested to see what happens in Canada's group and if they somehow manage to keep drawing these games.
Yeah.
It's not. I doubt it'll happen, but it'd be really funny if they just keep doing that.
What's the tiebreaker if everybody's just one goal everywhere?
I honestly, I don't.
You know
No.
what? I think that's going to be a question answered on the next podcast.
I feel like that's a research topic for the next week.
Oh yeah, because like you can't go goal against because they're all the same. Goal sport,
Yeah.
all the same. Goal differential, all the same.
I think at that point you go down to like shots, and like
or maybe who scored first.
I think it goes to shots first. I'm pretty sure.
I
I mean, hey, for this week, we will check this week
Yeah.
and we'll get back to you guys next
crazy
week.
time. But talking about the world and everything and how FIFA just started, how about something that is ending?
Yeah. So rugby, just across all continents and whatnot, is coming to a close for the year, it seems. So the Super Rugby Pacific League, they had the semifinals matchups this past week. June 12th, Chiefs beat the Crusaders 49-12. They led in tries 7-2. Funny enough, the Crusaders actually led in meters gained, 553 to 454. So they actually got 100 meters of advance, and they still managed to lose by 37.
Yeah, that's rough.
Hurricanes beat the Blues 57-21. These were not close semifinals matchups, but this was to be expected. Hurricanes led 9-3 in tries, and in terms of meters gained, 624 to 423. That domination in this game.
Not very good.
No. The grand finals we played June 20th, Hurricanes against the Chiefs. And that'll be the end of the Super Rugby Pacific season. Top 14, they had their quarterfinals matchups, they had their quarterfinals matchups.
Yep.
It was POW against Racing 92. Close game. Racing 92 wins this 33-31.
Ooh.
Now, POW actually had more tries. They had 4 to Racing 92's 3.
So Racing 92 was just more optimistic then.
Optimistic? No. So, okay. So,
Or
opportunistic?
That's what
No,
I meant.
not even. So, here's a rugby lesson for you, maybe. So, in American football,
Yeah.
you have touchdowns,
Yeah.
which are 6 points.
Yeah.
You have your conversion for 1 point afterwards,
Or the
And
extra two.
or the extra 2, and you have your penalty kicks for 3 points.
Oh yeah,
Or your field goals, right? Rugby, very similar. Your tries are worth 5 points. Your conversions, which is sort of the kick afterwards, are worth 2 points. And then your penalty kicks or your penalty goals are worth 3 points. So that's your field goal equivalent. So in this game, POW had more tries. They had one more try. And both teams completed all of their conversions. So POW had 4 conversions. Racing 92 had 3 conversions. The deciding factor in this was that Racing 92 made 4 penalty goals, while POW only made 1. So POW got 28 points from their tries and their conversions total, and then 3 points from those penalty goals to give them 31. Racing 92 only had 21 points from their tries and conversions, but because they got 12 points from the penalty kicks, they get their 33 points and get the win.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yep. June 14th was Stade Français against Stade Rochelet. You and I were kind of hyping this up because it was Stad against Stad, and their final game of the regular season was kind of close.
Stad won.
Stad won, and convincingly. Stade Français beat Stade Rochelet 45-5. It was not close. Stade Français had 7 tries, while Stade Rochelet only had 1, and the possession was 57-43 in favor of Stade Français. Now that the quarterfinals are done, the semifinal matchups are set. It'll be Toulouse against Racing 92. That'll be played June 19th. And on June 20th, Montpellier is going to face off against Stade Français.
Go Stad!
Go Stade! Now, after those 2 games have concluded, the finals will be played at June 27th.
So, okay.
Yeah. So we are 2 weeks out from that league ending. The United Rugby Championship, they didn't have any games this past week. They had their semifinals last week.
Oh, yeah, and then they got like a week and a half break.
Yeah, they got a week and a half break. So their final is going to be played on June 19th. It'll be Leinster against Vodacom Bulls. Premiership Rugby, they had their semifinals this past week. June 12th, the Saints beat the Tigers 45-31. Saints led in tries 7-5 and also led in meters gained 590-248. The fact that the Tigers actually managed to score points and keep it kind of decent is surprising with how much they actually advanced.
So imagine if they had the same amount of.
If they actually got somewhere on the field, they would have won this game. But apparently they just couldn't. June 13th was Bath against Chiefs.
Oh,
Chiefs win 27-26.
You probably like that one.
I have nothing against the players on Bath Rugby's team. I just have everything against the name. That is such a ridiculously stupid name. Now, the teams were tied for tries at 4 each. Bath made 3 of their 4 conversions, while the Chiefs only made 2.
Okay.
So Bath have a 2-point advantage in that column. The Chiefs made the only penalty goal in the game.
Which is the only reason why they won.
Yeah, so they gained 3 points for that, which explains the 1-point difference. The final will be played June 20th between the Northampton Saints and the Exeter Chiefs. Japan Rugby League 1, that concluded last week. We had our finals and whatnot. Moving over to women's rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, the semifinals were played this past week. We had the Hartpury. It was Hartpury against Trailfinders. Trailfinders won 29-26. Hartpury did dominate in terms of possession. It was 59-41. Trailfinders had more tries at 5-4, while Hartpury did complete more of their conversions, 3-2. Trailfinders just eke out the 3-point win. The other semifinals was the Saracens against the Chiefs. The Saracens win that 40-38. It was on conversions. 6-6 in terms of tries. Saracens made 5 of their conversions. Chiefs made 4.
You know, now that you tell me how the point system work, I can understand how they get their scores.
In terms of meters gained, however, the Saracens should have probably won by more. They gained 641 meters to the Chiefs 407. Now, before giving our date for the finals of the Premiership Women's Rugby, I figured I'd give you another small rugby lesson in terms of conversions. So, in football, we have those sort of like 2 dashes, like 2 kind of like dashed lines that go sort of down the center of the field.
Yeah, right, on the left and the right.
On the left and the right. And when you score a touch, not even just when you score a touchdown, right? Any play is done between those 2 lines.
Yeah, because then that defines your weak side and your strong side.
Yeah. Now, in rugby, there is none of that. So when you score a try, it's actually very important where you score it in the end zone.
Because that's where you kick it?
Yes. Because to score a try, you physically have to run in and, like, touch the rugby ball down to the ground. So when you score a try, that conversion afterwards is kicked in line with where you scored that try. So if you can score that try right in the center of the field, super easy conversion. But if you're forced out to the outside and have to, score over there,
a little bit harder.
That conversion kick can get really, really difficult. Now, for the finals, The finals will be played June 28th between the Trail Finders women and the Saracens. And that, begrudgingly, is all I have for rugby.
The corner's getting so small.
The corners getting small. The seven sort of international championships that ended last week. All of our leagues are closing up.
No, it's starting to be the end for rugby.
Rugby is going into hiatus right away here, which is sad days. But with the rugby hiatus comes the summer months for us.
Oh yeah.
So outside of sports reporting, I'm not going to be too upset. But with FIFA and rugby out of the way, we're approaching the end of our international episode, and at the end of our international episode, we always like to get on, what is it, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, talk a bit about motorsports and some of those race times.
Well, you got 4, you got 2, and then you go back to 4. I think you got NASCAR with 4, then you got the NASCAR trucks with 4, and then you got the F1s with 4, and MotoGP with 2.
Yep. At least they're even numbers. But for motorsports, we'll give it off to Jay.
Actually, it'd be kind of cool to see like a T-Rex going at it like
get one of those 3-wheeler bikes. Oh my goodness! Actually, no. Before we talk a bit more about motorsports, that as a kid, you know those spider bikes, the one with the 2 tires.
Oh,
in front
the
of the
trikes! No, yeah, I know
the two, no, the spider bikes, two wheels in front, 1 in the back. I've always wanted one of those. Yeah. It's like the only reason why I want to get my motorbike.
I had a like big trike, then the ones where like the wheels are like 11 inches wide.
Yeah.
And like you were real down low, and like if you turn way too, I want to get you sent flying.
I want to get my motorcycle license.
Yeah, you making fun of me?
Hey, it's my first time. You're working on like 2 dozen here.
Damn.
I want to be that guy that gets the spider bike and the Harley, and that's all I have.
Yeah.
See, that would be me. But enough about my aspirations for my own.
I want to get my Harley and my Impala 67.
Oh, that'd be nice. Think it's time we give it off to Jay to give you guys some times and some races.
Hell yeah.
Hello. So we are going to start off with a bit of NASCAR, as that's the one that is first on my notes here. NASCAR this weekend, Great American Gateway 400, Getaway 400. D. Hamlin in Toyota number 11 finished first with 67 points. T. Reddick in Toyota number 44 finished second with 35 points. W. Byron in Chevrolet number 24 finished third with 38 points. J. Nemeshek in Toyota number 42 finished fourth with 41 points. And K. Larson in Chevrolet number 5 finished fifth with 41 points. There was no MotoGP over the weekend, but on June 7th, there was Balaton Park Circuit in Hungarian GP, and Marquez first place with 25 points in 42 minutes and 54 seconds, and Acosta in second place with 1.343 seconds behind. Bagnaia in third place on Ducati with 11.63 seconds behind that. Ogura in fourth with 15 seconds behind that, and Marini in fifth. Now moving on to F1, we have a bit of a repertoire here. Hamilton in first place in the Barcelona GP. After a while, Ferrari and Hamilton get a first place, which makes it so that he's very close in contention for the Drivers' Championship. Right behind Antonelli with only 40 points behind, I believe. George Russell in second place and Lando Norris taking third with the podium. Verstappen started off fifth in pole and finished fourth with Oscar Piastri fifth behind him and Verstappen's teammate Hajar in sixth. Now there was some news there was some incidents on the track for F1 as Leclerc had brake issues and electrical issues as well as power steering issues, so he went onto the gravel and then limped his car back to the pits. Antonelli had a terminal electrical issue in lap 62, moments after overtaking his teammate George Russell. His car lost all electrical power and he had to retire. Now, one of the most unfortunate retirements for Alex Albon. He was P6, I believe. No, sorry, he was P9, I believe, at the time. And he was fighting. I don't know off the top of my head the driver, but he was fighting for ninth place. And the car prior slightly slipped past the tracks, and the car in front of him, rear left tire, went onto the gravel, throwing up some debris, and one of those pebbles hit his kill switch that is on the side of his engine. One of the most unfortunate retirements I have seen in F1. Yeah, that is motorsports for now. We will be moving on to esports. WE versus BLG, a 5-game screamer. BLG take the win in the lower bracket finals, moving on to the finals, and then proceeding to beat Ragdoll TES for first place with a clean 3-0. Now, LCS just finished, and Lion with a 5-game screamer in the quarterfinals against Team Liquid with a 3-2, move on to semifinals, and then whooping C9's butt for a 3-0 in the semifinals, and then whooping Team Liquid's butt, who ran the lower bracket gauntlet to get back into the finals 3-0 again. So Lion looking out like the clear winners of the spring split of LCS. Now, LEC, G2 versus KC with a 5-game screamer. G2 pulling out the Nasus jungle in game 5. Absolute cinema. LCK was an absolute cinema this weekend as well, as T1 faced Hanwha Life in the road to MSI's first upper bracket. Hanwha Life ruined T1's day with a 3-1. T1 looking a bit shaky in their drafting and closing out games. Meanwhile, Gen G kicked KT's butt, unlike prior in the season. Moving on to the lower bracket finals to face T1. Now, this was another 5-game screamer, with T1 taking the edge in game 5 and looking way more stable in drafting and gameplay execution against Gen G rather than Hanwha Life. So, a little bit of life back in T1 right before an international. So, there's that. But that is all I have today, boys. So, Mike will be turning off. Beep, boop.